think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay, won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. Coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. Pieces is a form of art.
All right, guys, happy holidays. Happy Friday. Let's get mediocre in here. Oh, he's not ready yet. Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all had a great week. Don't forget, next week is a holiday week here in the US. So we will have, I think, half a day on the 24th, and the markets will be closed on the 25th. And tonight we're just going to hang out, have a drink, have a smoke, go over whatever trades we did this week, talk with you guys about what you did, what you're looking at, what questions you have, and kind of, wind down this year and start thinking about what's going to happen next year. I know that that's what we're doing on our team, on our Discord, thinking about what plays we want to do into the new administration into next year. And so I'm curious about hearing your guys' thoughts on that. We got a little bit of stock market drama going on this week. We got the FingerMotion, finally, the long-awaited dilution. I'll talk about that briefly. I'm not going to dwell on that because I don't report on Finger often. I've been following it for several years because it's obviously a retail play, but it's not a ticker I cover on YouTube because why? But I do follow it and I read all the filings, and nobody likes what I have to say, but we'll go over it again tonight. This was no surprise what happened with Finger today, not to me anyways. To the Finger community, of course, how could this happen? Very easily. They told you it was going to happen. We might talk about the Bill Pulte and Virtu thing if you guys want to talk about that. Talk about some box office, AMC, maybe some GameStop rumors about store closures in January. Where is Roaring Kitty? Lots of fun stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to try and have some fun. Be nice, have some fun, and ask whatever question you guys want. There's no censorship here as long as you guys can act like adults. Let's get Mediocre Trader in here. Are you ready, buddy? Give me a thumbs up if you are. I think he's ready. I'm going to run the intro. All right, I see the thumbs up. Mediocre, how you doing, amigo?
Hang on, why does it do that every time?
Damn, green screen technical difficulties. He's been working furiously in the background to to be ready for you guys. That's why we were a little bit late today. That, and I was waiting for Santa to drop off my hat, Mediocre. Yeah. I like your hat there. You're ready for both Christmas and New Year's, it looks like.
Yeah, why is it doing this? Hang on a second. I don't like when you guys see my green screen, guys. I want you to see other stuff. Hang on.
I'm going to put up the box office. Let's talk about box office while he is getting ready here. And let's see. Box office. Here we go.
Why is it doing this?
We are at on domestic box office for the year, just under 1.8 billion, 1.797 billion. We only have numbers through Thursday right now. I was hoping that the numbers would be a little bit higher on the dailies, but it is what it is. And this weekend, obviously, we have Mufasa and Sonic 3. Now, I spent the better portion of today trying to rewatch Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, but I kept falling asleep. So I don't know what that says. Sonic 3 is not high on my list. Like I told you guys, I'm not the target demographic for Sonic 3. It's not that I don't enjoy the movies. I just didn't really grow up with Sonic. Mufasa, the Lion King with my kids, that was that time frame. I am very interested in watching Mufasa, and I've been doing some spot checking in my local area as well as from people in the industry, and it just looks like Mufasa is not it's not clicking with people like people wanting to go see it. And I don't understand why that is. I shared in my Discord some screenshots of our IMAX theater here in Austin. For the past 2 weeks, it's been full, completely full, other than a couple seats. I'm talking 300, 400 seats, however many are in that auditorium, full every showing, every day, no matter what time of day, for weeks. And then they rotate it out to make room for Mufasa. You know how many seats have been booked on IMAX for Mufasa for this weekend? I'm looking at 1 seat in a 400-seat auditorium, 6 seats. What the hell, man? Where's the damn audiences for Mufasa? Am I the only one excited about Mufasa? But Sonic 3 seems to be doing better. It's not on our IMAX here, but they're, when I look at the other theaters, the Dolby and the digitals, there are more people going to see Sonic. I don't know why Mufasa is having such a hard time connecting with people, but I'm going to go see them both this weekend, and I'll give you all my review once I see those movies this weekend. All right, Mediocre, are you ready again? All right, he says he's ready. Let me see if I can get him back in here. There we go.
Man, that was driving me nuts. I don't know what was going on.
What do you got, an Italian donkey?
That's an Italian Christmas donkey right there, man. You know? Chingity ching, baby. Let's go.
Hey, show us your ugly Christmas sweater there. Make Christmas great again. Oh, I love it.
Let's go.
You got, what is that, Trump on there?
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah,
right there.
baby.
Look at him. He's dancing.
Very nice.
Let's go. Cheers, Tony.
Cheers. What are you drinking tonight, Mediocre?
I'm still drinking pumpkin.
I did go try and find the pumpkin ale today. I just went up to the corner store and they didn't have it. They had, absolute crap for holiday selection. So I picked out a Scottish ale, and it's very tasty, by the way. The brewery is out of Colorado, Oscar Blues Brewery, OSKAR. Not sponsored. This is the first time I've tried it. It's called a Scotch ale, and I would definitely 10 out of 10 buy this one again. This is what the can looks like.
I like it.
10 out of 10.
So, Tony.
Yo.
While I was getting set up here and doing all the crazy crap that I had to go through to get this all set back up, right? I opened my Thinkorswim to have a peek, and guess what I seen?
Were you looking at a particular ticker?
I was.
Was it Lunar?
It was Lunar.
How did I know that? We're going to talk about Lunar tonight, guys.
Did you see it, Tony?
If you're in the Discord, Lunar was, I think, the one play that I called out on Monday morning or Sunday night. I forget when I called it out, but we gave some, I don't want to say guidance, but we gave some thoughts on what was likely to happen on Lunar. Tell us what you saw, Mediocre.
I mean, after I ran back up to $15.
$15?
I swear to God, dude.
Smokes.
I said, what? Whoa.
I'm going to pull up the ticker and put it on the screen here. So Lunar has been one of our plays. They have a launch coming up in February. That is, a lot of people in the Discord have been either buying shares and holding them, trading options on it, or buying shares and doing the wheel on it. So selling covered calls or selling puts. So let me put up the screen share.
1 sec.
Now I'm just going to say we're not marrying Lunar. We're playing it into the launch. Is that a fair summary, Mediocre?
I think Junior's gonna come and say what's up.
What happened? Oh, here. Okay. I'm trying to share the screen. There we go. Wow. So was there news that made it run mediocre?
I didn't have a chance to look. I was too busy working on this. I figured maybe we'll do it live. I don't know.
So if we zoom out, we've been talking about Lunar and trading it since. Well, we've been watching it for years. We've been trading it more recently, September, and there was a launch that got delayed, so that gave us some more opportunity to trade it as we approach this yellow line. And it is a very volatile, speculative stock. So I'm not recommending this for people that are buy and hold people. This is a swing trade or wheel strategy stock, and you must know what you're doing if you're trading Lunar. But if you're interested in that one, join the Discord and join the discussion on it. Or if you have questions about it, now is your moment to talk to people, ask your questions of folks that are actively trading or doing the wheel on Lunar.
You guys, I'm in the Discord too. You can shoot me a message, and when I get time, I'll respond to you guys. I'm not trying to, but it's hard for me to be in I do so much different things, so it's hard for me to be in a text chat. But I'm willing to talk to any of you. But
yeah,
here's the other thing,
you
guys.
Tag me at any time in the Discord, or you can tag mediocre. Small Space Living says, if you like Long Island's, try Captain Morgan Long Island Mix. Best I've ever had. That is one of my wife's favorites, the Captain Morgan, to be honest. I don't dislike it, but, I'm more of a Scotch guy. So, but I mean, back in our clubbing days, it would always start with a glass of Scotch and Captain Morgan and Coke. His and hers.
So Tony, I'm going to do a couple of videos this weekend, I think, on Lunar. I'm going to put, because I promised a video of last week for Lunar and I didn't do it. I've been busy, you guys, but
now mediocre. Let me just ask you a question, because people are going to look at this chart and they're going to say, how are you making money on Lunar when it's only trading between 12 and 14 bucks?
It's easy. I buy low and I sell call contracts high. And when they go into money, I let them get exercise done.
Buy the shares. We watch this stock very closely. We have a lot of collaboration between the senior traders, trying to identify what is a good entry point.
Exactly.
A safe entry point. There's never 100%. There's never 100% safe entry.
There's risk in everything you do.
Let's be clear. We always acknowledge the risk, and we know about it. But once we acknowledge the risk, then we can have a plan to deal with the risk.
Exactly.
So we look for our best entry, buy the shares, sell covered calls on them at an exit that we're willing to take, and bank the money on selling the covered calls. Plus, if it runs up, then you get your exit with your profit percentage. If it doesn't run up, you just repeat next week, sell covered calls again. It's like a virtual ATM machine.
Exactly.
And that is the wheel strategy. Go ahead, mediocre.
Yeah, you get to keep all the premium and any run up. If it goes into money and you lose your shares, who cares? You made the money that you wanted. You chose the price.
You chose the strike price.
Exactly. So
yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, what if it runs up mediocre to 30 bucks?" Well, okay. Well, so what? We chose our strike price. That meant when we chose it, selling those covered calls, we were going to be happy if it ran up to that and we got to exit. It's not a big deal to us.
That's right. Have cash on the side if you're worried about a massive run up like that, where you can jump right in. It's not rocket science, people. It really isn't.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good understanding of option, for one, and you gotta be willing to sell and take profits. Most people don't sell and take profits. They rather hold that. They think it's going to go to 1 million. I don't know why. Stocks go up and down, up and down. Just look at the chart. It doesn't go in one direction.
Stocks go up, stocks go down. I've heard a few people say that.
What do you want me to say, Tony? They do.
Let's pull up Finger here, Mediocre. I know you're not following Finger because you don't follow these trash stocks. And but I think all right, I call it a trash stock because it's Finger's never made a profit, guys. But before you get mad at me, I did buy some on this dip today. And I've swing traded Finger. I've played options on it before. I've been following it for years because why? Look at this volatility. It's insane.
So-
17 cents, $17, 88 cents, $8. It's back down to $1. This is a swing trader's dream ticker. But
So here's the thing, Tony.
what do you see, Mediocre, when you see a stock moving like this?
I see money. Here's the best part. A lot of times I've made my money in the past. And Anya, if you're in here, you could vouch for this because you made money at the same way that I did. And that way is, quite frankly, when a dilution happens and the stock gets beat down like that, usually after that, they announce that the dilution is over. The stock usually comes back up a little bit and I make some money there. Usually on a company that I know is going to come back up. I don't know a whole lot about this stock, honestly, but I know that they just did a dilution, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to put up the press release and I'll go over it with you very quickly because I want to make sure we get the info out. And I might do a 5-minute video. I don't do videos on Finger because it's not really a great stock to be talking about every day. There are people that talk about Finger every day, Mediocre. They have 4-hour live streams on this stock.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's melting down from, $6 down to $1. And I once or twice a year, I will post when they do a quarterly update, the earnings. I will post what management is telling you guys that they must dilute to grow the business and that you should expect dilution. I tweet that out. I don't make videos. I'm not trying to bash Twitter. I'm just trying to be the voice of sanity to remind you guys to read the filings, listen to what management is telling you. Don't listen to the dummies who are telling you this thing has trillions of naked shorts. Maybe it does, but why? Why does it have shorts? Because management is telling you they're going to dilute.
So for me, guys, I got
and they did today, Mediocre. I think the last time I tweeted on Finger was July, and I said the dilution's coming, and people are going to underestimate its impact. And look at the impact today: 46% down in a day.
Yeah, I have a very small percentage of my portfolio in this. So it's not a lot, and it's a.
But you bought it. Sorry to interrupt. You bought it after it dropped today, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Just like I did. We don't hate this stock. We hate getting diluted on.
Yeah. So
we want to come in after that.
That's just smart trading right there.
That is smart trading.
Like I said, it's a very small percentage of my portfolio. If it goes wrong, I don't care. It is what it is, right? But
I took even a smaller entry than you, Mediocre. I'm trying to find my damn lighter. I took a smaller entry than you. I got a little higher entry than you because I got in at $1.30. It went down to $1.07. And then after hours, it went back up to 118. I had a follow-up limit order at $1. And why did I limit my risk today? Because the actual SEC filing was not available for me to read through everything, just a very vanilla press release. And that makes me nervous. Like, I want to read through everything, not a press release. You know what I'm saying, bro?
I know what you're saying. I know.
I'm trying to smoke a cigar here, but I can't find my damn lighter. So let's pull up that press release and take a look at it.
Let me see.
And whether or not you're in this play, it doesn't matter. This will still be a teachable moment for everybody because every one of these is a teachable moment. Share screen. All right, FingerMotion, $5 million registered direct offering. The offering includes 3.3 million shares of common stock and warrants to purchase up to 5 million additional shares at a combined price of $1.50 per share. So a lot of times if you're having trouble selling an offering, they'll say, hey, if you buy these shares for $1.50, we'll give you a free warrant to buy some additional shares. The warrants will have an exercise price of $1.50 per share and are immediately exercisable and have a 5-year term. So a warrant is kind of like a long-term call option. So it expires after 4 years. Anytime the price goes over $4.50, the warrant holder could convert that warrant into a share, which could be additional dilution. So you're looking at about 8 million shares potential dilution. Roth Capital is serving as the placement agent. The offering is expected to close around December 23rd. That will be Monday. And the company plans to use the net proceeds for general corporate purposes. Now, if you've been following me in Discord or my very occasional tweets about Finger, I don't make videos on it because it's not worth the death threats of sharing the company's filings with you. It's amazing, mediocre. You share company filings and people want you dead. The company said in their most recent 10Q that the company will need to secure additional funds through various means, including equity and debt financing, to continue as a going concern. If you're reading this stuff, they are telling you in black and white, the company, this is not me being negative, the company's saying, if we don't raise money, we can't be an ongoing concern.
I don't know why they ignore that.
I don't know why people get mad about that. Like the YouTubers covering Finger will not touch this topic. They call me a paid hedge fund short if I bring it up. This is literally the company giving you the keys to the kingdom.
They tell you in every
crystal
filing
ball
what
of
they're
what
gonna
is
do.
going to happen. You have to read this stuff, and you have to learn not to listen to people that won't talk to you about this stuff. They have some other motive. I don't know what it is, but there's nothing wrong with reading the financials and discussing what the company is telling you. That is not negativity. That is being honest and realistic. So you know what is coming. Furthermore, as I looked at Finger and I look at Dilution Tracker, which is another paid service I pay for, which you guys get the benefit of. If you're in the Discord, you can ask me about any ticker, what Dilution Tracker tells us about it. They have been warning for a year that the offering ability for FingerMotion is high and that the cash need at FingerMotion is high. Now, I have heard people saying FingerMotion's making money. They don't need cash. The company's making money. This is lies. The company is making revenue. They're not making money. The company, if we look at their net income, has never once turned a profit. This is just solid losses. That's why I call FingerMotion a speculative play. It's why it's not a buy and hold stock.
Because they got to get money from somewhere to pay the bills.
And you're the place that they're going to get money from, or an
Exactly.
institutional investor in a private placement. So this is what I like about Finger Mediocre. I don't call it a absolute shit show. They have growing revenue. Here's their revenue chart. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
They have growing revenue. And it's not they have new products coming out. They have contracts with the Chinese government. I've listened to the CEO, all his talks. I read every press release. I read the 10Qs completely. It's not a total shit show, but they're not there yet to the point of profitability, as you can see from the net income, and as you can see from them telling you in the 10Q that they're going to raise money. In fact, they specifically say in here, to grow our business, we need money to go buy minutes and offer more minutes. We got to have money to do that. And we don't have enough to grow if we don't raise more money. They've been very clear. Now, mediocre, you know what I saw on social media today? We need to sue the CEO of Finger for diluting on us.
Oh
That ain't going to work, guys, because they've been fully disclosing it over and over and over. And I've been telling you, it's right here. Go read it. The only people are mad. The only people that are mad right now, just like what happened with AMC, is the ones who refuse to read the documents and then they act surprised. Oh, well, I don't understand what happened. Why? Why don't you understand? They've been telling you. Anyone with common sense can read this and see exactly what's going to happen.
Why is this happening in December, Tony?
With FingerMotion Mediocre, they had to replace their auditor for reasons we don't need to get into. And the CEO said that the new auditor should have their due diligence done around mid-December. And I'm going to point out, as Dilution Tracker says here, the company has negative 1.1 months of cash left based on their cash burn. And as we look at their balance sheet, you can also see that they had less than $1 million left. The second I think that they got the audit done and they could do a due diligence deal with a sales agent like Roth Capital, they knew they were running out of money, Mediocre. It has nothing to do with December. Like a lot of these companies, when they start running low on cash, what do? Mediocre, our favorite
they tap the
four-letter phrase.
They tap the equity markets.
Tap the equity markets because they're running low on cash. The YouTubers that cover Finger will tell you this company's making money. No, they're not. They're burning their cash. Look at this. They had $9 million last year. They have 800,000 now. They're not making money. They're burning money. They do have revenue. I'll give them that.
Tony, good thing that YouTuber didn't accept my challenge I made last week for this.
What was the challenge, Mediocre?
I challenged him on percentage gain.
There's nobody going to beat your percentage gain this year, Mediocre.
I meant just for a week, Tony, for 1 week. Do you know I made over 50% this week?
You made how much this week?
Over 50% on my portfolio this week.
Cheers, amigo. I'm not up 50% on my portfolio this week, but every trade I had, I think my worst trade this week was up 14%, and my best one was up about 260%.
I can't say on my whole portfolio because it wasn't my whole portfolio.
I posted a couple screenshots in the Discord.
I'm gonna do a video tomorrow or the next day.
Our goal, guys, is just to beat the indexes and manage our risk
and show you.
Show you that you don't need to just be investing in money-losing companies, crossing your fingers on some random dude up in Massachusetts tweeting a random meme. Like, there are plays you can make money on if you're willing to be flexible, you're willing to look at other tickers, not marry a stock, jump in and out, buy low, sell high, do the wheel strategy, read the financial statements, listen to what management's saying, and stop listening to social media. Unless you found someone who has a history of being right every month for the last 4 years, in which case, stick with that dude. Most of them, Mediocre, have either gone away or they've just been nothing but wrong for 4 years running.
I'm just coasting right into next year, Tony. That's all I'm doing.
I love it. All right. What else do I have to say about Finger here? We went over the fact they do have revenue. They are not making money, despite what I heard even today. People saying Finger's a great stock. They're making money. No, sorry, they're not. I mean, anybody with common sense can look at the chart and see that they're not making money. Dilution tracker has been throwing up red flags for a long time. The company didn't even issue on their investor page a press release. I had to go search for this press release, and we will get some more details. That the thing that I want to point out to you guys, just for the learning experience, what I bought some today at $1.30, and I will buy some more at $1. But I reserve the right to change my mind next week and sell or get out, depending on what I read about this SPA agreement. These are often a very big red flag. A SPA agreement is a securities purchase agreement where typically they work with someone like Roth Capital, where Roth says, we're going to buy the shares at $1.50 minus a discount and give you the money immediately. And as you need money, you can sell us shares and we'll immediately sell them into the market. These can be death spiral financing. I don't know that this one is, because there's nothing to read. If I go to the filings, there's nothing for me to read. So I bought at $1.30. I did not get my second buy-in at $1, but I can't tell you what's going to happen. This is I need to see the actual filing. I need to read through the SPA agreement, and I might exit the play next week if I see something I don't like. Just like I saw when I read the BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond. When I read their funding agreement, I was like, that is 100% death spiral financing. This thing's headed into the shitter.
Anyway.
Huh?
Hopefully we get a bounce.
If it's not a death spiral financing, and we look at the chart, and the fact that the shares are priced at $1.50, that's why I was willing to get in at $1.30 mediocre on a small position, managing my risk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't load the boat on companies like this, but I might have a trading opportunity over the next couple months if I get a good entry.
But Tony, it's only $1.
Doesn't matter if it's $1, if it goes to 10 cents, right? If the SPA agreement is death spiral, then this thing could spiral down or turn into a reverse split. I don't know yet. So I would just say all my discussion here, don't take that as a buying signal, but take this as a learning opportunity. Follow this press release, read the filings, and let's just see what happens. Every one of these is a learning opportunity.
Tony, I'm joking about throwing a lot of money at it.
I know. You know, if it's super speculative, I don't ever throw a lot of money at it. The ones to throw money at are your profitable companies.
Mm-hmm.
It says here in the press release, this is Stock Titans write-up. The vague designation of proceeds for general corporate purposes raises concerns about cash burn and operational sustainability. This financing appears more defensive than growth-oriented. I don't know if I agree with him on that after listening to the CEO talk. They have some contracts with the Chinese government that they were going to need some capital to this new product offering that they're working on. They're going to need some capital potentially to build out that product. Maybe it's about that, but maybe it is just to address cash burn, as we see over here on dilution trackers. So this is definitely one to be careful about. The fact that I bought it, I'm not buying it for a short squeeze. Like, I'm just going to throw a number out there. If I'm buying it at $1 or $1.30, I'd be perfectly happy with a $1.80 or a $2 exit. If it ran up beyond that, beautiful, but I'm not going to be making daily videos saying, finger to the moon. It's just a speculative swing trade for me, and hoping that more bad news doesn't come out, and hoping that the bullish investors want to support this company at this price level. And then we'll see what happens. And as always, mediocre, what do we say? If things don't work out, what do?
You get the fluck out.
You have an exit plan.
That's right.
You don't hold it and pray. You have an exit plan. We are not hero to zero, folks, on this channel. Ain't nobody here wanting to see their portfolio go down to zero.
Not I, anyway. I got bills to pay, family to take care of, and all that other good stuff.
VRO's trades. He tried out the 8-ball. If you guys want to try out the 8-ball, it is exclamation point 8-ball and ask it a question. He said, does AMC rip or dip next week? I love this 8-ball. This is not me. This is random. Read the filings.
Oh,
I love it. That is high to the hilarious, mediocre.
I'm glad I don't have to. I'm going to just, every time somebody asks me a question, now I'm just going to direct it to the 8-ball, Tony. Ask the 8-ball. Fuck it.
All right, let's get to some of these other comments. I'm going to put these up on the screen here. I saw people asking about a couple of other tickers. As I'm reading through these, mediocre, do you have any thoughts on AMC? Let's put that chart up here.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, I mean just the chart action.
Let me look at it. Let me see what we
I'm going to put it up on the screen. And then we'll get into GameStop and some other ones, and we're going to
I know your buddy
look
Jerome
at your
Powell.
other tickers too.
I know your buddy Jerome Powell. He really did a number on some stocks this week. Wow,
He did, man.
Yeah, that don't look good. It's rough, man. Rough.
So let's see where we're at. I'm going to turn off extended hours. AMC was up to 556 on the 5th. We're at 418. I'm not in AMC, by the way, right now.
Me neither.
I sold in November because if you're in my Discord, you already know I said there was going to be a dilution before mid-December, and I didn't want to be holding through that, but I would consider buying after that. And so I'm waiting on news that the dilution's done. I'm waiting on news of what they're going to do now that they're out of shares.
Tony.
Yes.
Is that the daily time frame?
This is 1 hour.
Oh, don't let Trey see that. He's just a big George W down at the bottom.
Oh! Lamp on! George W.
Oh, God. I can't, man. I'm sorry.
I'm waiting to see what the news is on when the dilution's done. I'm waiting to see what the news is on what they're going to do about being out of shares. I'm waiting to see how Q4 is shaping up. I'm worried about Q4 being a cash burn, and I'm worried about Q1 being a cash burn. So for me, this is for me. You guys do whatever you want. The risk is exceeded my parameters for holding at the moment. That doesn't mean that there couldn't be some roaring kitty tweet that sends it soaring. Hope it does. I got cash on the side ready to jump in if it does, but I'm worried about the downside. And so I'm just sitting on the sidelines rather than taking the risk. If it trades flat, I didn't lose anything. If it goes down, I didn't lose anything. If it goes up, I'll jump in on a moment's notice. So I'm on the sidelines at the moment. Where does my DD come from? From the filings and from what management said.
You're not watching YouTube?
Nobody else. That's me interpreting what Adam Aaron and the staff said on the earnings call, plus reading the latest 10Q. Go ahead, mediocre.
Wait a second, Tony. You're not on the internet getting DD off of YouTube?
No. Not YouTube, not Twitter, not Reddit. I don't care what any of them say. I know they're all super bullish, and I hope it works out. And I think it will over the next year or two.
You don't think social media is a great place to do your due diligence?
I mean, it's good entertainment, mediocre. It's great for community.
I'm sorry, people. I'm just having fun. Yeah, I am trying to make light of certain situations. It is true, but the fact is a lot of our stuff comes from the filings and what's going on with the company. That's just the easy way of doing it, right? Rather than guess. Why guess? Why listen to somebody who I mean, are they showing you anything? I don't know. I don't see anything. That's all I really got to say about it.
VRO says, do you buy puts when it runs up? It depends on the play, VRO, but typically not. When any ticker runs massively up, what happens, mediocre, to the
implied volatility goes extremely high? And when implied volatility goes, mostly we trade options, right? Puts are options, so it applies to them. When implied volatility goes screaming up high, it affects what you're going to get, because as implied volatility falls and the stock price starts to fall, right? You're never going to make a profit because you bought your put with high implied volatility and it's dropped.
When the price screams up, let's say it went from $4 to $12, the IV is going to scream up, and that price of that option is going to scream up. And then if you're trying to buy puts at the top, even if you're correct and the price falls all the way back down to $4, you might not make a profit. You might even lose money. So that is why you need to pay attention to the IV before you jump in and buy puts, and why most of the time I don't do it.
You got to understand options before you do something. I rarely buy put. I rarely buy options, right? I only do it if I'm in a day trade only situation and I can see that we're going to have a move in a direction, and the direction is going to happen. You could get in before it happens and exit in 10, 15, 20 minutes after the move happens, when the move starts to die off or whatever. Those are the only types of plays I like to play. The 1348 strategy, that's what I do when I do those types of moves. Other than that, I'm not buying any options.
Mediocre, here we got a great comment from Mr. Premium. Maybe be transparent and show results. Documentation beats conversation. What happens when we post results, mediocre? What do people say?
People make videos about you, calling you a trust fund baby and shit.
Or they say you're making up the numbers. There's no benefit to us to posting stuff. I post my trades and I post
go
screenshots
on my Twitter
in
right now. I've posted several trades, and I'm going to post them tomorrow from the last week and this week.
Every time we fucking post shit, we got to deal with yahoos that's saying it's fake. It's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. If you don't believe us, don't listen to the channel.
You don't have to listen to me. I could care less if you do.
Same here. I have hundreds of people in the Discord that are making money, and they can speak up for.
Just ask them in the chat. They're right there. Ask the chat what they think, if we're bullshit or not. They're there. They know.
All right, what else we got here? Let's talk about GameStop for a second, mediocre. GME.
Pull up Juke's conversation real quick.
Juke?
Yep.
I'm trying to find it.
It's a ways back, probably. Juke Joint 523. Well, I'll just read it to you. It don't matter. He says Rumble ran up after hours today.
Oh, yeah. I think they had an announcement, mediocre.
I like Rumble. See, that's the thing. Everybody's portfolio is a little different, right? Some people have enough money to trade Rumble. Some people have a little more money to trade stuff like MicroStrategy, whatever. And I don't pick on anybody. What you have is what you have. Okay, so we try to help people find plays, and I have a friend of mine, good guy, who's been trading Rumble because we were all trading AMC, and AMC is not a good trade at the moment, right? So what do? Sit there and not make money? No, we don't do that. We go find places to make money, right, Tony?
Absolutely. That's what we spend every weekend doing. What is the best reasonable high IV play that we could maybe buy stock in and sell covered calls or sell cash secured puts on, or tickers that we just think are going to run. One of my best trades this past week, mediocre, was buying calls on the SQQQ, which, I know a couple weeks ago when I told you guys I was buying that, you thought I was crazy. Remember that conversation?
Absolutely, I do.
But as the SPY was running up, I got more and more concerned that any bit of bad news was going to send the market tanking. And so here, look what happened here on this chart. This was my gain on the SQQQ. It went up 300% in one day. Now, I had bought it a little bit earlier, so my total gain on that trade was 40%. But that was 40% over a couple weeks. There's fund managers that would kill to make 25% in a year. I made 40% plus on that trade in a couple weeks. And then I exited it. I exited the play because you always want to be taking those profits. I didn't know if the indexes were going to keep tanking for a few more days. So it ran up 300%. Take the fucking money. Look for the next play.
Yep. I mean, with everything that's going on with our government and stuff like that, the market overall is it's turbulent, to say the least. I just you don't know what to expect. We all hope it's going to continue to go up. We think that the new administration will help the economy in ways, right? But you won't know until it starts happening. That's the thing. You know what I mean? So what happens before then? I don't know.
Let's talk about GameStop for a minute, mediocre, and then we'll get to another comment from the chat. I've been trading GameStop, swing trading it only for a couple years since the 4-for-1 forward split. You can see all my trades here. I got out at 25.35. It's been consolidating at this 26 to 32 range. I'm not day trading GameStop. We have people in the Discord that are day trading it. I see one guy posting every day, made 600 on GameStop, made 600 on GameStop, made 600 on GameStop every fucking day.
Yeah,
there's opportunities to make money on these plays if you're not listening to these dipshits telling you to buy and hold it forever. I don't really, care to day trade GameStop. I like to buy it really low and then wait for run up. So it's a little bit pricey for me up here. And here's what I'm worried about. I haven't talked about this a whole lot, but there are rumors about a large amount of stores being closed early January. And if I look back at January last year, there was a pretty big sell-off on GameStop at the beginning of the year. And I'm worried that might happen again at the beginning of this year. The only thing I see people talking about GameStop, mediocre, is please Roaring Kitty tweet. Please Elon, look into GameStop. The options chain is looking great. These are not, those are not investable thesis, guys. Those are speculation.
How'd
You're
quad,
fucking rolling the dice.
how'd quad witching do today?
Quad witching was a big fucking nothing burger.
Oh,
Look at the volume, mediocre. No volume. Same volume as any other day in the last 2 months. Price didn't close over 30. People been building this triple witching, quad witching up thing for weeks. Have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
oh yeah.
I will say again what I've always said about GameStop. If Roaring Kitty tweets, you could get a run up. If Ryan Cohen announces some plan with the money, you could get a run up. Other than that, you're playing with fire trying to buy it at $30 because they have no earnings. The core operations are losing money. They're going to be closing more stores. The revenue is going to keep falling. You're making 4.5% interest on cash on the balance sheet, which no one on Wall Street cares about. It's a talking point on social media. Anyone on Wall Street could go buy treasuries to earn 4.5% with no risk of the overhead business that is failing. So this is not a compelling play for Wall Street. But on the flip side, it's also not it's not a short magnet. Shorts aren't interested in this play. There's no bankruptcy thesis. It's not going bankrupt. They've
But
got
Tony-
4.6 billion in cash. They're making interest on that money, and they're not going bankrupt.
But Tony,
So-
I heard that it was a short squeeze play.
It's not a short squeeze play. There's no shorts in this play.
I'm
There's not.
sorry, dude. Poke the bear. Poke the bear.
Go read a short interest report on GameStop. There are no fucking shorts in this play. Could there be swaps and other, off exchange derivative plays? Maybe. I think, if I was a short and I'm not
Got
a
any
short,
proof on that, Tony?
no. If I was a short, it gets more interesting as a short over $30. But other than that, between 20 and 30, it's pretty risky as a short. I wouldn't want to short it, which is why the short interest is low. No one wants to fucking take a chance of a run up.
No, what do you think? They're scared of Roaring Kitty coming back and
Yes. I mean, it's a reasonable fear. If Roaring Kitty comes back mediocre and you shorted it at $30, you're at risk of getting run up to 40, 50, 60, $80.
Tony, do you know what emoji we're on? Shit, I'm sorry.
My only, thoughts on GameStop are have some emotional intelligence about it. If you're gambling or speculating, that's fine with me. Just know what you're doing, manage your risk, have some downside protection, maybe just in case it tanks. If you think it's going to run up, buy some call options. I don't care what you do. I'm not willing to buy it at this price as long as it's trading sideways. If it starts going up, I'll jump in and I'll play it right along with you. But for me, again, just like AMC, the downside risk here is a concern.
Tony, you got to read Fiero's comment. Put it up there. Tony, stop talking bad. That one.
I want your financial freedom plays to be profitable companies that pay dividends.
I like it, Viero.
That's what I want, Viero. I want you to own so much of a profitable company that pays dividends that you can reliably sell covered calls on it. And between your dividends and your options selling, you don't have to work a day again in your life.
Oh, boy.
I saw Eric Bissell in the chat. What's up, Eric? Long time no see. Where you been hiding, buddy? Let's see. Let's pull up some other tickers. I think we've beat the GameStop thing to death. I'm mostly really, really interested
I'm
in
just
GameStop.
I'm not
to
trying to offend nobody, Tony. I'm just trying to have fun tonight.
I know, I
to be
know.
honest.
We're just trying to have fun tonight. And I wish everybody luck in
Don't hate me.
whatever
I only make
speculative play
pennies.
you're in. I hope they run up to the price of your dreams. I'm worried about the GameStop closure announcements in early January. That's what I'm worried about right now. And we got 10 days, 11 days left in the calendar year. So will Roaring Kitty come back? I sure hope so. I hope he does. I made a lot of money when he came back in May. I'd love for him to come back again. I do swing trade GameStop.
He's on his island, his private island, Tony.
Let's see what other tickers we got here that folks are asking about.
Keith Gill, cheers to you on your private island, sir.
All right. Diatog
Merry
says, is RCI a good buy at 30.75? Let's pull up RCI. Rogers.
Oof, that took a beating.
Rogers Communication, Wireless Cable and Media Company.
Oh yeah, that's a Canadian Comcast, Tony.
Okay. Have you looked into them?
I've never looked into them, but I know that's equivalent to Comcast in Canada.
Good Lord, what a fucking sell-off. All right. So, I mean, I can give you a couple thoughts if you can hang out for a couple minutes. But I need to look at a few things. It's run up mediocre as high as $58.
Hold on, let me write this ticker down.
We do like tickers that have been heavily beaten down, but we need to do, more than just like tell you off the cuff.
What's the ticker symbol?
RCI. You know what I'm not going to do? You know what I'm not going to do, guys? I'm not going to go look at their price to book value. I'm going to look at things that Wall Street looks at. That price to book value is a little shade at the GameStop people who keep on saying price to book is where to start your analysis. That is fucking hogwash.
The only thing I know about them, Tony, is they're a telecommunications company. They do internet. They're an internet service provider, cable provider. So, I mean, everybody is going streaming for TV. They're cutting the cord. I don't know what's going on with it, so
let's take a quick look, mediocre, and maybe there was some news this week that made them tank. Rogers provides update on its acquisition of Bell's 37.5% stake in MLSE.
So Bell is equivalent to DirecTV, I believe. I'll have to do some research, but I think that's equivalent to DirecTV in Canada.
All right. Let's see what else we got here.
Let me look up Bell real quick. I'll tell you.
Quarterly revenue is growing. This is good. You want to see a chart that looks like this on any stock you're considering? This is another problem I have with GameStop, for example. The chart is going the opposite direction, which adds risk. Wall Street is not interested in plays that are going down in revenue. So their revenue is going up, but let's dig deeper. Operating income, horrible.
Bell.
Sorry, I was clicking on the wrong thing. That was interest expense. Operating income going up. All right, so that's good. Net income mixed and mostly flat over the last 9 years. So I would expect over, the last 8 or 9 years, this stock has mostly been trading in a range. I haven't looked at the chart. We'll go back and check it. But when your net income is mostly flat, you're going to be stuck in a range. What is this company doing? What are their plans to grow net income? That's the only way the stock price is going to grow. They're not really diluting. Earnings per share is they took a hit in 2022, it looks like. Look at their balance sheet real quick. Cash, $800 million. They've had as much as $2.5 billion. Total current assets, 7.4 billion. Total current liabilities, 10 billion. So they have negative working capital. That is not great. Total assets, 69 billion. And total liabilities, 58 billion. So the balance sheet it's balanced in terms of shareholders' equity, but you have negative working capital. You got mixed signals here. Negative working capital means that they don't have enough cash to pay their bills over the next 12 months.
And they're picking up Bell, which is another company that is similar in nature.
Maybe they're thinking that they can get some
more market share.
Yeah, some economies of scale. Mediocre.
What do I know? I'm just a dumbass on the internet here. I don't know anything.
When we look at the analyst forecast, they're saying mediocre, low 46, average 61, high 74 over the next 12 months. Let's see how old these forecasts are. September, July. So we have Vince Valentini, a 1-star analyst. That means his track record of accuracy is not that great. At TD Securities, giving it a strong buy, maintaining a $74 price target. We got Canaccord involved. I don't like to see Canaccord involved in any play. Not my favorite company. And what are they projecting here? They're projecting revenue growing from 21.1 billion to 22.2. So about $1 billion in revenue growth over the next 24 months. And earnings growing from 503 to 507, 7% growth rate over the next 2 years on an annual basis. Not super exciting.
What's it trading at right now, though?
$30. So what I'd want to dig into, mediocre, is why did they tank?
We got to look at Bell to find out, I think.
We kind of got the lay of the land here now. This is not a horrible company, but it's not a fantastic company. And to decide if these, I need to double check these analysts. Why do they have these price targets? Are they right? Are they pumping?
Were they not anticipating the acquisition,
Were they not anticipating some news when they gave these price targets back in September? There's a lot of things to consider. Let's look at a dilution tracker on RCI. I have a feeling
it's going to say nope.
Yeah, no results.
Exactly.
It's too big.
It may not matter with this ticker, it says, or something like that.
Yeah, when the float or the market cap is so high, dilution tracker won't report on it. Mediocre. So let me just pull up the chart and see what the news is here. It started tanking when? On the 13th. That was a week ago, 7 days ago news. That was when they announced the acquisition of they were cleared to acquire Bell, 37% stake in MLSE. Can you look up MLSE, mediocre?
ML.
What I'm seeing, I'm just very, very practical at how I look at this stuff. When I see a press release and then I see the market sell off, the market is not too excited about Rogers acquiring Bell's stake in MLSE.
It's a Maple Leaf Sport Entertainment. So it's I would say a Toronto-based sport entertainment company. I don't know that to be certain, but just from what I could, it says right here, subsidiaries, Toronto Raptors. Oh yeah, so there you go.
So we'll need to do some more digging into this one this weekend. Maybe it's something we'll have a follow-up for you guys on. I like stuff that gets knocked down if it gets oversold. But the market reaction to that news a week ago was not favorable, and that's something you should consider. Why Why did it sell off on that news? That's really the key to this puzzle. That's about all I got to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what other comments we got here.
Yeah, it's something similar to that, Hawkeye.
VRO's Trade says YouTube just raises membership monthly, making it as costly as cable. I saw that news. He's talking about the TV subscription, right?
Because all these, that's the problem I have with AMC, right? Like, where are all these actors and all these, TV show personalities, all these people who are in that environment, right? Why are they not helping the movie industry, right? Like, if the movie industry fails, that hurts them as well. And it's exactly that. That's why YouTube probably raised its rates, because those people want to get paid. And if everybody cuts the cord, they were getting money from cable. So everybody's cutting the cord and going to streaming. And I think that's creating an issue.
You used to be able to sign up Mediocre for a YouTube TV for like $35 a month, and I think they just increased it to like $75 or $79 a month. I was actually talking to my wife about this a day or two ago. I was like, I don't have YouTube TV.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We also don't have cable. I canceled that because I got tired of all the price increases. It is ridiculous, but
all them doing it too.
Huh?
I said I wouldn't be surprised if you get Netflix and Hulu and all those other streaming companies doing the same shit.
You know what is irritating to me right now, Mediocre? We have Amazon Prime Video. We have a couple of other free streaming, from her phone company, T-Mobile, gives her some free, like Netflix or a couple of others. And which I asked myself, like, how can T-Mobile subsidize all these? She has several streaming platforms on our TV that are free from being a T-Mobile member. How do these companies make money when they're giving out free streaming?
I don't know.
They start putting ads. It's really, really irritating to me how every streaming platform now has buku ads. I don't want to pay for streaming. They really spoiled us in the beginning. Oh, go to streaming, no ads. Now It's like, if you don't pay for a premium membership, you're going to get a fuck ton of ads.
Yep.
And on top of that, they're all, biting at each other's jugular to be king of the hill, and none of them are making money. They have to keep raising their prices to consumers. And it's getting to the point where it's as expensive as cable was.
Yeah, I say to the wife, Tony, I said, why do we need all of these? But I
say that to my wife every month. Why do we need all of these? And she keeps reminding me, babe, we're not paying for them. And I got to calm down, because she's right. We're not paying for them. But if I was, I know how much they cost.
Yeah.
If I was paying for them, no, we're not paying for this shit, babe. No.
Exactly. I think it's crazy. I barely watch TV, so that was one of the main reasons I cut the cord. I got the internet. I go find what I want. I don't care. I watch YouTube. Just straight YouTube videos. I don't care.
VRO says, what streaming app does she have? She has T-Mobile, and I know that we have Netflix for free and we have Hulu for free. And I am a Amazon Prime member, so we have Amazon Prime Video from that.
Oh, Tony, you got everything I got. Everything.
That is basically what we have. We got Hulu, we got Netflix, and we have Amazon Prime. And
it's crazy.
There's nothing that we can't find usually. There's always, I don't watch that much TV either. The only thing I really miss watching, Mediocre, is the news or CNBC. But I'm not going to pay $120 a month to a cable company to watch CNBC.
So you know what I did, Tony?
What?
I went, and because I'm like you, I said, screw this shit. You know your local news, at least where I'm at, they all went digital. So I said, screw this. I went and bought a nice, digital antenna,
Mm.
and I just set it out there and I ran it, and that's what I do
So you can get your local TV stations broadcast for free
for
with the
free.
digital antenna. All
For
right, I
free.
might consider that.
And it's basically digital HD. You know what I mean? It's not like it's old school like you and I used to.
Yeah, move the rabbit ears.
It's none of that shit.
Don't move your arm. Stop right there. Yeah. I just don't watch that much TV, mediocre, because I think a lot of the messaging is pushed on us from the news these days. I'd rather go have my variety of sources, left and right, and then come up with my own opinion. And I can do that on the internet. And I'm just not a big TV watcher. If there's a good series or a good movie, I'll watch that in the evening. But I don't need the TV on nonstop.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd rather be here working or researching or, figuring out how do I make more money than watching TV? It drives my wife nuts.
I can't, I'm the same way. I like to find ways to make money. That's my life. You know what I mean? I can't help it.
Hawkeye says, I love HBO Max. I have had and paid for HBO Max before, Hawkeye. But when they canceled, what was that dragon show? Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was a good show.
I paid for HBO when Sopranos was on. I paid for it when Game of Thrones was on. And then, there's nothing really right now for me to pay for that.
Huck, I don't even got an AMC near me. I got to drive over an hour to an AMC theater every time.
Yeah, I am a A-list member. I've been one since 2021. Before I invested in AMC, we went to any movie theater, Alamo Drafthouse, Cinemark, AMC, Regal. We got a lot of, brewery type movie theaters here, mom and pop type places. We'd go to anything and everything, just depending on what was close and convenient. Once I went A-list member, I have not been to another theater in the last 4 years. Is it 4 years now? 3 years? Other than one time at my wife's insistence. And our experience was so bad at that premium location that I told her we're never going back to that place. We ordered food and they never brought it. And they brought our popcorn when the movie ended. So fuck that place.
So the last time I actually went to an AMC theater is when myself and Massalorian went and met Mr. CEO on his little tour he was doing there, Adam Aaron. That was the last time I've been to AMC, but only because it's a hike to get there,
Is that where he gave you and Massalorian your talking points?
Oh, absolutely. I got they're right here in the drawer. That's how I know what to say, Tony. And it says, but it's not just talking points, Tony. It says if this happens, then you say that, and then if this happens, you say that. It's like it's interchangeable. It can go on for years. I'm fucking kidding, people.
The shit I read on social media, mediocre, about, these guys all met with Adam Aaron and they changed their tune. I just met Adam Aaron. I shook his hand and said, thank you for all you do. That was the extent of my conversation with him.
I asked him tough questions for you guys. That's what I did.
It was too early for me. I didn't know what I needed to know, mediocre, or I would have had some tough questions. You went later than me, right? It was months after. I did. By the time he made it to Boston, we had learned a little bit more.
Absolutely, we did. And I had a photographer with a gimbal. It was me, Massalorian, my wife. I had a gimbal to record everything, to do like an interval. I had cue cards. And do you know what he said to me? He said, we cannot do an interview. You can ask me some questions, but no camera, none of that on the book. If you want to do all that, you have to set up a whole press thing or
That is
whatever.
actually SEC, legal regulations that prevent him from doing that, Mediocre.
Why? Because I had a fucking gimbal, Tony? Who
No,
cares?
because he can't do an interview that's not available to the general public. That violates SEC rules.
It wasn't an interview. I had fucking talking points.
I-
He was taking questions, Tony, was he not?
yeah, but
So
he can't go. He can't give you potentially inside information that is
Agreed.
not widely disclosed to the public. That's the
Oh,
problem.
Oh, I 100% agree. So he just says, he should just say, well, I can't answer that because of this. That's all he had to say. He should. I got my questions answered. Believe me. Okay.
You
And I
want those
shared them
shares,
on the
don't you?
internet. Huh? Yeah. You want those shares, don't you? I know you do.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
No, I don't want them shares now, Adam. Not at all, buddy. I'm sorry. Listen, I love AMC, guys, and I love the community, and I want to see all of you succeed, right? And that's one of the reasons why I come on here with Tony. If I could, you know, I'm going to be just fine, believe me. Um, but it is what it is. And I didn't mean to get back to AMC, but I just don't have the theater close to me, or I'd go there more and support the company, right? Because I want to see them survive. They're a 100-year-old company. They've been around forever, right? Maybe not near me. I mostly have Cinemarks and Regals near me, but even still, you know, you don't want to see a 100-year-old company fail. I don't want to see any company fail. Just like
I got two AMC within about 10-minute drive of me, and the other one with the IMAX is on the other side of town. So, and they just have the basic menu. So I go to that one the least, and the IMAX seats in it are horribly uncomfortable. They're the old school seats, Mediocre.
Yeah, that's how Boston was.
So it's got to be a really great movie for me to go watch it at AMC and IMAX. I'd rather go close by to the AMC with the 4-foot leg room, heated seats, digital Dolby. It's almost as good as IMAX.
Tony, I got sent a couple of videos on AMC theaters.
You got sent a couple videos?
My wife sent me one. Ralph, our buddy Richie Ralph.
Yeah. What kind of videos?
Dana sent me a video. It was about a Massachusetts AMC theater.
Oh, I think I know where this story's going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't watch the video because, I don't want to help spread that. You know what I mean? I think it was an accurate thing, but even still, I don't even want to talk about it now.
All right, I did not see it in the news, and I have not seen those videos. So
I think it's legit.
Send me a link, and maybe we'll talk about it another day.
Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about it here because even so, there's no reason to even discuss it on the internet because that only hurts the company. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not in any way trying to hurt the company.
Mediocre, what do you think about people that claim they are invested in AMC still because they're stuck? But they're advocating boycotts and protests. I think that hurts
the shareholder.
And talking bad about the company all day nonstop.
I think it hurts the shareholder. That's what I think. I think you're hurting the community when you talk like that. The same reason why I don't want to really discuss this. I was only bringing it up to you to say there might be some validity to it,
Yeah, I will. I'm interested to check into that further, but I mean, we're talking Boston, New York, certain things,
Yeah, I mean,
I was staying at a Grand Hilton in Times Square and had the same experience, Mediocre. You know how expensive a Grand Hilton is in Times Square?
Well, absolutely, but it's like that.
What are you going to do? You're in fucking New York City.
Yeah, exactly.
It comes with the territory.
It really does.
Sorry, it was a Grand Hyatt, not a Grand Hilton. Sorry, Hilton. It was a Grand Hyatt. I was a Diamond Hyatt member because I was traveling a lot back in those days. And I used some of my points to go stay in Times Square. Fine stay, but yeah, What the fuck? Oh, I was just like, mediocre. I was like, oh, I'm in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
What can I fucking do?
You think that's the only city that's like that?
No.
You don't think maybe London's like that?
Every
Or
big
maybe
city's
maybe
like that.
France is like that? I don't I'm not saying that they are. I've never been. I'm just saying, I mean, you got major metropolises. That's kind of par for the course, you know?
So I just want to say, for all the people full of negativity and stuff, like I don't own AMC right now. I'm not going to talk bad about the company. I'm not going to talk bad about the CEO because everything that they are doing, like with the dilution, they've fully disclosed that in every 10Q. There's no reason to be mad except at yourself that you weren't reading or listening. They're not doing anything illegal. They're not doing anything immoral. They're not unleashing any surprises. Everything they're doing, they've told you they're going to do and why. Same thing with FingerMotion. I'm not mad at Finger for diluting. They told you they were going to dilute. Just all you got to do, guys, is listen to management, read the filings. Everything will make much more sense. You'll be much less emotional about these plays. The emotional people are the ones that aren't doing the actual DD. And some of these companies, unfortunately, if they're losing money, they're going to need to what, mediocre?
They're
Four words.
They're going to tap the equity markets.
You got to say it slower. Tap the equity markets.
You really want people to get you on, huh?
De-risk the balance sheet.
That's Diane Garrett right there.
It is what it is. I mean, they're money losing companies. You don't have to get mad at them. You bought it. They told you what's going to happen. They need the money. It's indisputable. And it is what it is. That's why you got to be careful. Play it smart. I'm not mad at anything AMC did, but I've been fortunate enough to sell before 3 of the last dilutions because I pay attention. Y'all get mad at me for doing that, but why am I not emotional? Because I see it coming. I listen to what they're saying. I get out. When price comes down, I jump back in.
Yeah, you can always get back in. And look at what the live stream is about. A late night traders chat. AMC, GME, Finger, Lunar, BTC, MSTR, and Tesla. I mean, there's so many tickers in the market. You don't need to be hyper focused on one. I'm not telling you do what you want to do. I'm just saying I'm not. I could find a play every single week. Very easily too. I don't even have to work hard, do I, Tony?
No. We typically work on the weekend and then we just coast during the week other than watching the chart and laughing.
Yeah. We're just protecting our money. We're watching, making sure nothing happens, and having fun.
There will be a day when we get back in AMC. I'm sure of it. It might be in a week. It might be in a month. It might be in a quarter or 2. I don't know. But we're concerned about the risk. Not everybody's concerned about the risk, and that's fine. But we don't like losing money.
Are you guys enjoying the Rocket League sessions? Those are pretty fun.
I moved some of them to members only, mediocre. I don't want to dilute my channel. Oh, he's just playing games now. If I'm playing games during the week, it's because I already got my trades in on Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm just coasting. I'm watching social media. I'm watching the news, but my trade's already locked in. I'm good till Friday.
It's no fun to beat a dead horse, you guys. That's the other thing. We don't take pride in hurting, or we don't try to hurt anything, but to talk about stuff over and over repetitive is kind of, whatever. But with that said, what about Bitcoin and MSTR?
Yeah, let's pull up AMD real quick, since VRO and someone else asked about it earlier. Maybe it was VRO, but this is the second time that I've seen AMD brought up. So let's just put up the chart real quick. It has been
Ooh,
a company that I've traded in the past.
I've traded it before too.
You can see I sold my AMD. I'm sorry I don't have the sale price on here. Let me lock this. I told my Discord when I was selling everything, it was probably into this run up because it was a couple months ago. If you're in the Discord, if you're in VIP, go look and see when I said that I was selling everything. But I got out of AMD a couple months ago. I see it's now trading below where I had originally bought in. So in retrospect, mediocre. I'm glad I got out.
VRO's comment's funny. Oh man, that's good.
Advanced money destroyer. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when it was $40, you guys. I remember when it was $40. So I really haven't touched it because I'm like, man, that thing just. And I know they have a nice chip in the whole deal, right? I know all about it, but I'm like, man, that thing just skyrocketed. And I think a lot of it had to do with the AI bubble, the AI move. Everybody was on board with AI, and I don't know.
There's been a lot of news in the last couple of weeks, mediocre, in Intel and AMD both. And I probably need to do some DD over the holiday and see if I want to buy some of these again. But I wanted to be mostly in cash as the market was reaching what I considered were frothy levels, especially the AI bubble. AMD's not the only thing that's tanked. Look at NVIDIA.
VRO and Treesmo, did you guys go see my Lunar music video I put out? That was pretty funny, man.
NVIDIA down from 153 down to a low of 126, currently at 134. Not as big of a sell-off as AMD. Let me see what this AMD article says here, though. It's retraced almost. It's through the 78% level, which is now in a point where I would be interested if I spend a couple days catching up on AMD. I might be interested in buying it here again.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too.
I'll put this on my DD list for the weekend. I'll tell you that. But again, I know folks at NVIDIA. They are telling me, Tony, don't buy NVIDIA, buy anything else. AMD, Intel, for your 5-year plan. I'm just going to leave it at that. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the next 30 days, 60 days, 2 quarters. I can tell you that the folks I know at NVIDIA are saying you should have a hedge, something else in the market, in the sector. So I'm not going to go through all of NVIDIA's DD tonight because it would take me too long. I see too many articles to read. I will just say this has my interest when you get a big sell-off like this, and seeing where we're at on the fib chart, even more interested now. But I need to do the work, and that's a half day or a day of work for me to catch up and see, why is it falling? Do I think it can change? How close is it to the bottom? I'm out of Intel also. I sold, as I said, I sold everything a couple months ago. So I had bought it around 20. I probably got out somewhere in this run up. It's all the way back down too. I'm glad in retrospect that I sold everything. I'm almost all in cash, which gives me a lot of flexibility every week to in and out different plays. Anya says, did we discuss Lunar? We talked about it briefly, Anya. I don't know that we went into a lot of detail in Lunar, other than, letting folks know there are a lot of other good plays out there. Here's what we said in recap of Lunar, Anya. There's a launch coming up in February. We were expecting the launch in December. Didn't happen. It got pushed to February. We are not going to be in this play all the way to the launch. That is our general thought. We want to be out before the launch, but as we get, these couple months leading up to it, it's a great volatility play, meaning sell cash secured puts or buy shares and sell covered calls. That's a very simple statement. You must know what you're doing because it's still a overvalued high risk play. It's a overvalued speculative stock only. It's not on my recommended list, except for people that are willing to take on the risk and know what they are doing. I have not heard anybody yet in our Discord that's lost money with our trading strategy on Lunar. But it's a risk every week. It's a risk. Crismo says he made a few thousand past couple weeks just selling puts alone. I love to hear that. I love to hear that stuff. We have people doing a wide variety of strategies on Lunar. Like I said, some are just selling puts. Some have shares. Some are selling puts and then getting shares and then selling covered calls. What I do know, the general consensus from everyone I talk to that's trading Lunar, we do not want to hold it into the launch. That's all I'm going to say. SMCI, VRO's trades, good ticker to look up. I have not been trading that one. We were doing some trading on an MSTR. I thought about trading SMCI on this huge dip. You guys know I like big dips. I got scared and I didn't do it, and now I regret it. This would have been a fantastic play. I will say how I categorize these. It exceeded my risk parameters. There are people in our Discord that love plays like this. There are some of you that love plays like this. I was very worried about what I was hearing with SMCI, but god damn, man. $17 up to 47. Fantastic. Now it's back down to 31. I'm not following it super close over the last couple weeks. I was following it real close here when it was tanking. So I don't have much, I don't have any fresh thoughts based on recent news to tell you. Might be another one that I look into over the holiday weekend or the holiday week. But feels like it's playing with fire.
Sorry about that. My kid would just come home.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh. Hawkeye says, what about Huma, H-U-M-A? All right, let's take a look. I would say with SCMI, have you looked at SCMI mediocre? I know we've talked about it. We went with MSTR instead.
Which one is this?
SCMI, super microcomputer. Remember when it was tanking?
Yeah.
SMCI.
Yeah, I remember it.
And we opted to go with MSTR instead, which ended up being a better play. But I mean, this still was not a bad ticker
Yeah, but
for this run up, but the risk was too high.
yeah, what was the reason? The reason we went with MSTR though was because of
The momentum on Bitcoin.
yeah, but what was his name there though? Michael Saylor.
Yep.
Yeah, he's been diluting to buy Bitcoin. What's the deal with this one? Is this one just following it?
No, they had some auditing issue.
Yeah.
That always gives me the heebie-jeebies. When your auditors say that there's a problem or they quit, I get really nervous. All right, HUMA. And look, I mean, it's okay to be nervous. There's other stocks you can look at that don't make you nervous. That's kind of the point.
What do you mean, Tony?
There's thousands
only two
mediocre.
stocks in the
There's
market.
literally thousands to look at every week.
I thought there was only two for retail traders.
AMC and GameStop. HUMA. We got, what do we got here? Humacyte. Is this a biotech? All right. Humacyte is engaged in the development and manufacturing of off-the-shelf, universally implantable, bioengineered human tissues. I find that fascinating. The company is engaged in developing a portfolio of human acellular vessels with varying diameters and lengths. All right, so interesting. Are they making any money? Total revenue, quarterly, 0, 0, 0. All right, now that's a no for me, dog. Mediocre, are you still here?
I'm here.
How do you feel about zero revenue companies?
Oh, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, I mean, you're just rolling the dice here, guys. I mean, you do you. I'm not going to tell you don't buy it, but this is a gambling play.
That won't even show up on my scanner, will it, Tony?
No. All right, let me show you another screen here. I'm not dogging out this stock, but there's better plays we can find than no revenue plays. All right, replace screen share. All right.
There's got to be a reason to trade it, you guys. You know, what's the reason? Why are we where we're at? Why are we looking at it? What's the reasoning behind it? You know, is it, you know, they just got a new deal, they're getting more money, their revenue's growing, whatever it may be, right? A catalyst.
Humacyte has high offering ability, a medium cash need, which is medium's okay. Offering ability high, maybe worry about that, but we got to look at the financials. They have 11 months of cash left based on a cash burn quarterly of 23 million. All right, so we got the background. Let's look at the financials. HUMA. All right, well, let's first look at analysts. We got these analysts saying it low 4, average 13, high 25. Someone's expecting this company is going to make money. Who is it? D. Borrell Capital, never heard of them. H.C. Wainwright, trash. You got trash companies covering this stock.
So here's the thing. Is that considered a pharmaceutical too, Tony?
Yes, I would imagine so. I would categorize it as that.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it.
All right, let's look at the financials, though, to be fair. Quarterly revenue, as we discussed, 0. Net income, they're losing $39-50 million a quarter. So then your DD has to focus on when are they going to have a product that generates revenue? Otherwise, how do you value the stock? Balance sheet, cash and cash equivalents. It's going to zero. Look at this cash mediocre. They went from 250 million down to 20 million. Total assets, current assets, 23 million. They're just about out. 23 million of current assets, current liabilities, 20 million. So they have working capital. They have positive working capital, but only $3 million. Total assets, 114. Total liabilities, 178. So their balance sheet is upside down. If you go down and look at the shareholders' equity, that's going to be a negative number. This is not a great balance sheet. And they have no revenue. So I would say super high risk play. You're gambling on them coming out with something. I'm not really interested in these.
And for $4.64 a share, I'm sure you could find a much safer play than that.
Yeah.
I can probably name a couple that are in that price range off the top of my head that are probably safer than that.
I don't want to throw shade at Huma. I don't know much about them. I'm just telling you my 5-minute look at it. This is a pretty damn risky play.
That's the other thing I look at, you guys. Dollar for dollar, what play could possibly make me more money, right? If I only have this amount of money to play with, and I'm looking in this price range, right? What other plays are in this price range that can net me more money at a safer, a much better risk tolerance? That's the other thing we look at.
They're mentioning in the chat, mediocre, they just got FDA approval. I do see the price of the stock is up 34%. So that is good.
Well, that
is what falls into that DD discussion, the work you need to do to understand, okay, they got FDA approval. When is that going to generate revenue? Is it going to generate enough revenue to offset the cash burn? I can't answer that for you.
What was that ticker the other day that I really was thinking about doing, Tony? And I didn't pull the trigger in the morning. I was going to do it. They filed in the morning.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We'll think of it in a second. The one that I told you don't buy, and then they announced an overnight dilution.
It was no, it wasn't dilution. It was
their drug trial failed.
Their drug trial failed. Exactly.
I was like, mediocre. I got a bad feeling about this. This is pretty fucking risky.
It was the week of Thanksgiving, right? And I'm doing a DD on it, and we know it's a bad play. And I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, oh. And it was such a bad play. We didn't even talk about it, did we? I think we just brought up
only amongst ourselves, could happen in the public.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Here we got Huma insiders sell millions in stock amidst lawsuit and regulatory troubles. Again, I'm going to tell you guys after ignoring what the AMC insiders did in 2021, I said, hey, it's a run up. Of course, they're going to sell. I'm going to tell you from that day forward, that was a mistake. We probably shouldn't have ignored it. I had, already sold my call options, so it didn't really matter to me, but I had shares, should have paid more attention to what insiders are doing. And I've been very consistent ever since that day. When you see insiders selling, pay fucking attention. When you see insiders not buying, pay attention. But here we have Huma insiders selling millions amidst lawsuit and regulatory troubles. Something to pay attention to. All right. I'm just saying there's a lot of DD you can do about this on this stock. Look at insider sales. Look at what is the expected revenue from that FDA approval if they got it. Why are insiders selling if it's about to moon, mediocre?
Yeah. That's a good question, Tony.
No one wants to ask themselves the hard questions. The hard questions are, why is it being shorted? billions of naked shorts, trillions of naked shorts, just the reported shorts. Why is it being shorted? Do you understand why it is being shorted? Can you have an intellectually honest discussion with yourself? Forget about everybody else.
All right, let's get into Bitcoin and MSTR.
And then
Tesla.
why are the insiders selling? That's the two things I'd say. Like, have a devil's advocate argument with yourself. MSTR. All right.
Yeah.
Let's replace this screen share with
Bitcoin must have took a beating this week, huh?
MSTR. Holy shoot. 543 down to 364 mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what week were you playing this one in particular? Was it this run up right here? And then you stopped, right? And then it tanked.
It's probably going to bounce right there, though.
The chart looks like it wants to bounce, doesn't it?
It does.
What do we got here? Chart setting.
What's Bitcoin trading at?
I'm about to pull that up next. I just want to see. We got the 50 on the green line. We're at the 50. We're on a daily chart. We're at the 50. And we're trading under the 13. The 13 has not crossed back under. So we're just basically sitting right at the 50 mediocre. That seems like a reasonably good place to bounce, right? That's what I see. All right, crypto BTC has fallen down to 97.
97.
Let me pull up the big chart on that BTC USD.
That's one of the things that I was concerned with, Tony, is because it
wow,
it follows Bitcoin.
Look at this. The huge wick down all the way to where?
Yeah.
The 50.
Yeah.
And then it ran right back up.
But I don't think it's like one for one with the MSTR because I think the reason is because of implied volatility. When I was trading around 96, 97 before it broke 100, MSTR was trading around. That was when I was in it. Was trading around, I don't know, 390, something like that.
Someone DM'd me mediocre a couple days ago and said, Tony, do you think crypto is topped out? And I'm like, how the fuck do I know? Right?
I don't know.
But I will tell you guys what I tell everybody. If you're in my Discord or I talk to you every day, and if you've been watching me for a few years, you already know this. The higher something goes, the more nervous I get, the more likely I am to sell, and the less likely I am to buy. I've watched YouTubers post videos saying, oh, I just lost $4,000 in crypto. Because why? You were buying up here. You're buying into the hype. Stop fucking doing that. You should have been buying a year or two ago.
Crypto scares me in general, right? It's like the wild, wild west. I think you can make money, don't get me wrong, right? But I'm trying to be more conservative with my money, to be honest with you guys. So I tend to not trade it too much. The trade that I was in on MSTR, I think, was a great trade. And I don't dislike MSTR even still, right? Like, I'm still looking at it, but I'm working on other plays where
your risk is less.
Exactly.
Right? We don't hate MSTR. We don't hate Bitcoin, but the risk, the higher this thing got, the risk of a pullback is huge. And we're seeing it. But I mean, this seems like a reasonable point for a bounce, mediocre.
Yeah.
If I were willing to trade it, this seems like, a reasonable point to retry. And I did, by the way, sell all my crypto into this run up. I'm holding none at the moment, but I'm ready to rebuy.
I'll be looking in the next few weeks. I want to get past January.
All right. What other questions y'all got? Because we're coming up on 10 o'clock. So maybe 12 more minutes, mediocre. Does that sound good to you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Preguntas, cuestiones, questions. Any ticker, any question.
Yeah, I get that, Crismo. So we were talking about Tesla too, Tony. Remember that?
Tesla. Oh, yes. Thank you. I wanted to talk about Tesla for a minute. So I day trade Tesla options. And I don't talk about it a lot. Some days I make a lot of money day trading Tesla options. Some days I don't. And the don't days is why I don't talk about it a lot yet, because my timing is not 100% accurate. And that's mostly my fault. So I just want to let you guys know that I have asked for the group think to help us come up with some trading rules around Tesla, and we are working on it to improve our accuracy rate of profitable trades. There's days where I make 50 or 100% on Tesla, and there's days where I get out because I lost 30 or 40%. And I don't like that. I don't like having 50% wins, 50% losses. You need to be at about 2/3 to 70% wins, so that even if you have bad days, and there are going to be bad days, that your gains offset your losses. And until I have my accuracy rate up, I won't be talking about Tesla for trading, but I do trade it a lot. So what I wanted to say about Tesla is there will be more content coming, but we're carefully coming up with some rules and doing some regression testing on those. And if you guys are interested in that, or you're doing it and you're successful, send me a damn message and join the group. There is a lot of damn money to be made. On the days that I make money on Tesla, it is a lot of money in terms of percentage basis.
Yeah, percentages.
And
what you need to be worried about, because
I
not
play it
everybody
to
has
the
the-
upside and the downside. I don't care which direction that it is going.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is not everybody has the same amount of money, right? We're all on different playing fields, and that's where percentage comes in. Okay, if you don't have a lot of money, but you make a 10% gain on a ticker, that is a good gain, people. You know, sometimes it might only be 10 or 20 bucks. I don't know people's situations, right? But I've seen it where it's, 10, 20, 30 bucks. And people are like, oh, I don't want to sell it because it's not a lot of money. But that's a massive gain. If you consistently can make percentage gains like that, your account will grow. I promise it will.
If you could
But
make
never-
10% a day and just do that every day, that would be a phenomenal year.
Absolutely.
But people get greedy. Oh, I need to double my money this week. That is what is going to slay you.
Taking profits is going to help you grow your account. You have to be willing to take the profits and just keep growing the account. I mean, it's up to you guys. I don't give financial advice anyways, but I'm just saying people who aren't taking, um, profits aren't really. They're just gonna keep going up and down with the market, and you're not making anything. The market goes up, the market comes back down. What did you make? You made nothing. Up and down. You don't make anything. It can do that for a year if you're holding that stock and you don't gain anything because you never took profit. You gotta be willing to take profits at times. I'm not telling you to to do that. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just saying in general, right? People who are making money in the market are taking profits. Would you agree, Tony?
Absolutely. Tech We Love says, does your internet or computer support 1080p? Yes. I'm streaming always in high def. So what I would say, if you're seeing it blurry, go to the cog wheel in your YouTube window and make sure that it's set on high res or maximum, whatever the setting is. Sometimes YouTube, based on your internet, will downgrade, but I'm always streaming in high res.
Yeah, we both have high definition.
I've got 1 or 2 gigabyte cable fiber in top of the line system. It's not from my end, but sometimes, like even when I'm watching other people's streams, I see a blurry stream and I hit that little cog wheel and it's streaming at 768 or whatever, and I just click on maximum and that fixes it. I don't know why YouTube does that, but it's not coming from my side, I'll tell you that. Pro PP says, why does AMC run when Roaring Kitty makes a tweet? Mediocre, go ahead.
Why?
We love this question. We love this question.
I mean, there's people on the internet that say they're not related at all. I don't know. I mean, I think it's related. My opinion is when people see Roaring Kitty tweet, including institutions or whatever, right? They don't know what the reaction is going to be. For example, let's say it's an institution. They don't know how retail is going to take it. Like, is retail actually going to buy the stock up and push it up? So if they're in a short position, may sell off their short position and go long on the stock to protect themselves from losses, right? And just reset their short position at the top. That's my belief of what happens and why we get run ups like that. I also think that a lot of retail traders see that happen and they pile in and try and drive the price up.
But the reaction in the price, Mediocre, is instantaneous. Retail can't react that quick.
I agree. I think it's a little of what we've discussed this. You know that.
Yeah, I'm going to expand on what you said, and we've discussed this ad nauseum. There are algos out there, and there are high-speed trading firms that, for sure, and there's meme baskets that for sure, bucketize all these meme stocks. Be it a ETF or just a algorithm that is trading all the meme stocks. And when Roaring Kitty tweets, their risk goes up. So, and they also might be, if they're a long trader, they might be saying, if Roaring Kitty tweets, this thing's going to run. So depending if you're short or long, either way, you might want to de-risk or go long or both. And you get this instantaneous algo reaction in a lot of the meme stocks where the shorts get closed, they go long, and then retail sees that momentum and they start piling in. And you just get this instantaneous meme basket price move up until it peters out, until the volume or the buying pressure peters out. And then you get the, what do we call it, Mediocre? It turns over.
The rollover.
Rollover, yeah.
The volume dies off. And
we're always watching for the rollover.
Yes, we are.
And a lot of times we call it in advance. It's rolling over, guys. Get out. But that's basically, in a nutshell, algorithms, high-speed trading firms, meme baskets, shorts not wanting to take a risk and a run up from a tweet, algos that are programmed to buy long on a tweet. A lot of potential reasons. I think that there are some shorts in this play, but the focus on shorts is overdone by people on social media. So it's not running up because there's billions of naked shorts. It's running up because if you were short, you better fucking get out. Right, Mediocre? If you were short GameStop at 30 and Roaring Kitty tweeted, what would you do? You'd get out immediately.
Absolutely.
You'd buy at any price.
You don't know what's going to happen.
You'd buy at any price. And so you see that immediately the price spikes up. They don't want to risk it. And that's a smart decision as a short. Get the fuck out.
So they step out of the way. They come back in later. I mean, I don't know why people don't think that they're capable of doing that. Like when they say the shorts are fucked, the shorts are trapped.
The shorts never covered.
They can do just what you can do just on the other side. It's the same freaking trade. Okay? All they got to do is buy the close.
There are some Mediocre that are well-funded that are stubborn, right? They won't get out. They'll hedge. They'll, take derivative plays to hedge. They'll do a lot of things to try and not get driven out of the play at a loss.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if the price keeps running up, they'll get fucked.
Yeah, I'm sure that happens.
But we haven't. I mean, that only happens rarely. The well-capitalized ones don't get fucked.
Let me ask you this, Tony. Do you think that's going to happen on AMC? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'll just tell you I don't think that'll happen on AMC.
I don't know. I don't even know what the current short interest of AMC is. What is it like? Because I don't follow it anymore. What is it? 14%? 15%?
Right. Something like that.
It's not enough to create a short squeeze, but a FOMO run up and any short-term short covering could cause the price to spike.
But the other reason why is the shorts also know that AMC has been making progress in getting away from bankruptcy. That has happened, right?
In the long run, I think AMC is absolutely a stupid short.
Right.
Over, between now and 2026, I think you're going to see that dynamic change.
So, but I think what people think when they talk, I think that retail, a lot of the community thinks that when they think of shorts, they think that like they can't get out of the play, like they're stuck.
No, they might be short for the next 4 months, Mediocre, and then they change their plan.
I agree with you 100%. They can exit at any freaking time. To say that they can't get out is a fucking lie.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
As soon as things start turning around and it's not a good short, they'll get out, just like you saw that short interest in GameStop drop because it's not a good short.
The ticker doesn't matter. It's the same thing. They're looking at their portfolio. They can see their portfolio. They know what they got. If it goes red and it's time to exit, they'll accept the loss and exit. It is what it is. But, if it's a good short for them and they think they're going to continue to make money, then they'll stay in it. I mean, it's the same thing. Like when you go long and you think the stock is going to keep going up, right? You're going to stay in it and buy more. It's the same thing, just in the other direction. That's all. To think that they can't get out, to me, is just crazy.
Yeah.
And we're only using AMC as an example, right? Like that's not the only stock. There's a bunch of equities that are talked about that way. I'm done with it, you guys. I don't even let it get into my head. I have what's been working great, and I'm good. I don't care.
I'm just gonna say, Mediocre. Like the minute I stopped worrying about the shorts and started asking myself, why are they shorting?
Right. Exactly. Why are they shorting, Tony?
And then why are they shorting? Well, I'm going to read in the financial statements and see if I can find out some clues. Oh, I see why they're shorting. Do I think that they're wrong? Right now, no, I don't think that they're wrong.
I mean, on AMC right now, they're definitely not wrong, right?
Right. But maybe in 6 months they'll be wrong and they'll fucking get out.
Absolutely.
Maybe in
I
6
think
months you'll see some institutions buying.
exactly. I think that, next year AMC is going to start turning a corner, and the movie industry should be coming back.
And
And
what do I mean by that? Like they're not wrong. Q4 is probably going to be a money losing quarter. Q1
absolutely,
is likely to be a money losing quarter. AMC
absolutely.
is likely
What
to need to dilute.
what
Therefore, if
movies?
you're short, that's a great, like, oh, this is an easy play.
Go look at the movie slate for the first quarter coming up here. I mean, I knew Tony and I talked about this. What, 3 months ago, 4 months ago? We were talking about this.
Well,
We
I mean, yeah, I started looking at Q4 and Q1 when Q3 ended, and I was like, this does not look good.
exactly. We were hoping for just what everybody else was hoping for, the run up in Q4, whatever. But when there was no movies in the slate to continue the progression, right, towards the good, what do? You gonna take another loss in another quarter? That's not good.
Well, we know what AMC is going to do, mediocre. They're going to be non-emotional. They're going to say, we're probably going to have a cash burn. We need to go tap the equity markets.
Absolutely.
This
That
is
is
not hating
point seven.
AMC. This is not being a shill. This is just thinking like them, thinking like a manager of the business. You're not going to let your cash get run down from 700 million or 500 million down to 1. You're just not. You're going to go raise some cash. That I just look at it like that. I mean, it's very basic.
Yeah. You
And
know,
so I don't hate what they did. I completely understand why they
Hawkeye
did what they did, and hopefully things get better next year. Next year should be better.
Hawkeye says, buy the dip.
Buy the dip, baby. I will be buying the dip on AMC when I'm confident that the dip has stopped, Hawkeye. We talk about it almost every day. Like we're waiting for the day where we can tell you guys we're buying AMC again, but we're
Yeah.
not there yet.
For the people who want to know, why you guys talk about AMC when you're not in the play? Why? Because I'm interested in getting back into the play at the right time where I can make a profit. Like I'm
And
not
where
there.
we don't have to have the risk of suffering additional losses.
Right.
And we all of us have plenty of cash on the side. If a run up happens, if Roaring Kitty tweets or the hedgies get caught off guard, we'll be right playing it right along with you. We're not going to miss out on anything. The only thing we're going to miss is any run down. And I hope that does not happen, but I am concerned. That's all I'm going to say. All right. It is 10:05. Mediocre, thank you for your time tonight. Are you
Thank you.
interested in playing any Rocket League?
Am I interested?
Yeah.
I'm always interested.
All right. Let's
Hey, listen.
let's wrap up this live stream, and maybe we'll start a Rocket League just to hang out and chat with folks that want to hang out.
Sounds good to
But
me.
I think that's enough work talk for tonight.
I'm down.
Guys, hopefully you guys found this valuable. We love you. We want to see you make money. We want you to read the financial statements. Listen to what management's saying. Social media is for fun, but always pay attention to the black and white SEC filings. Every bit of DD, mediocre, I think you can agree with me that we've found that matters, that's helped us either make money or not lose money in a play, has come from reading the financial statements, reading the filings.
I was reading Tech We Love's comment.
I can predict how things are going to go down 3 or 6 months in advance by just reading a 10Q.
Yeah.
I know people hate it when I say Finger is going to dilute. It's coming. Be prepared. That's not me being negative on Finger. It's not me being negative on AMC. It's me literally reading what the company is telling you. You can have hopes that something's good going to happen, but if those speculative hopes don't come true, what the company's telling you is going to happen will come true because they're telling you it's going to happen. So that's your gamble on the non-profitable stocks. I like to play them too. But I've learned to listen to the companies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you much. Have a good night. Mediocre.
I just want to say this before we go.
Yeah.
I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if you don't see us, but I'm sure you will.
You're going to see us again. You don't get rid of us that easy.
Yeah, I know. But I also want to say if you don't celebrate Christmas, whatever holiday you do celebrate, I hope you have a happy holiday.
Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you guys around. If you want to hang out and have a drink, we're going to do some Rocket League here in about 10 minutes.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's fast.